My name is John Hunter. I'm head of the Department of Economics and Finance, and I'm talking to you about the degree programs that we offer in our department. Why Brunel? Our London campus community provides everything students could need. World-class sports facilities, a diverse arts centre, students' union, prayer facilities, and on-campus accommodation, all within easy reach of central London. At Brunel, you learn to apply your mind to real-world problems and real-life situations. Our teaching is informed by internationally renowned research, delivered by experts, and supported by some of the best equipment and facilities around, as close as possible to the world of work. Brunel is amongst the top 10 UK universities for boosting graduate salaries. Brunel graduates earn over £2,000 a year more than expected 5 years after graduating. Over 150 countries are represented on campus, creating a vibrant atmosphere as the different cultures meld together. Brunel is ranked in the top third of institutions worldwide, according to the QS World University Rankings 2019. Why study in our department? We're accredited by accounting institutions ACCA, CIMA, and ICAEW. We include in our study econometrics to help you develop data and data modeling skills liked by employers. In relation to accountancy, there is a slightly more qualitative approach. There's the option of a work placement year and all degrees. And then there's teaching informed by high-level national and international research, according to the most recent Research Academic Framework 2014. 85 to 90% of our graduates are in work or further study 6 months after graduation. If you consider our degree programs, we have the traditional economics. We have more recently economics and accounting. We have economics and business finance. And economics and management is taught both by the department and in the business school. Finance and accounting mixes those subjects, and accountancy is specialized for those students who wish to move into the accounting profession. Banking and finance is for those students with a strong interest in banking, especially in terms of financial and bank regulation. All are Bachelor of Science with honours, all with the optional work placement. In terms of the programme structure, after level 1 and level 2, there is the option of a work placement. If you choose the work placement, then after a further year, you go into the final year and graduate. If you don't do a work placement, after level 2, you move into the final year and graduate. Everyone studies similar first year level 1 modules. Accountancy is slightly different in terms of having 2 specialist modules for that degree program. The work placement year is sandwiched between level 2 and level 3, and then the final year project completes your degree. In terms of the first year for economics students, you do mathematics for economics and finance, you do micro and macro, financial markets, introduction to financial accounting, and professional skills and statistics. The same program is taken by finance and accounting and banking and finance. If you do economics and accounting, you do quantitative methods in accountancy, economics and finance, which is for those students who enter only with GCSE maths. This program takes you to the level appropriate for those degree programs associated with it, so that you can cope with your second and third year modules. The same applies to economics and business finance and economics and management, except For the economics and management students, they don't do introduction to financial accounting, they do organizational behavior and analysis, which is required for you to deal with your second year modules in the business school. Then in terms of accountancy, foundations of economics and accountancy for business replace the micro and the macro. For level 2, economics students do micro and macro. They do mathematical economics as a specialist module, money and banking, economics of information, and introduction to econometrics. The economics and accounting students do the economics modules, financial accounting and statement analysis, company law and regulation, management accounting, and choose one from research methods for accountancy project and introduction to econometrics. The economics and business finance students do their economics modules, corporate finance and corporate investment, and money and banking. They choose one from introduction to econometrics and econometrics for finance. The economics and management students do their economics modules, and then from the business school, marketing research, human resource management, and critical perspectives in management. Finance and accounting, you do the finance and the accounting modules, and choose from econometrics for finance and research methods for the accountancy project. For the accountancy students, you do your accounting modules, plus taxation, ethics and accountancy, and also research methods for the accountancy project, which is prepared for this degree program. For banking and finance, there is money and banking, housing economics, economics of information, corporate finance, introduction to econometrics, and then a choice from macroeconomic principles 2, financial accounting and statement analysis, and company law and regulation. In the third year, there's some further specialization. Economics students doing an economics project, advanced topics in economic theory, and further econometrics. They then choose 2 further economics modules from managerial and industrial, labor markets, behavioral economics and finance, international money and finance, and development. The economics and accounting students can choose between an economics project or an accountancy project. They do managerial and industrial economics. They do advanced financial reporting and choose from taxation, audit and assurance, comparative and contemporary issues in accountancy. The economics students with accounting then have economics modules, economics of labor markets, behavioral economics and finance, and international money and finance. For economics and business finance, there is the economics and finance project, advanced topics in economic theory. Then you choose one from financial theory and corporate policy and financial engineering. You then choose 2 further optional modules from managerial and industrial economics, the economics of labor markets, behavioral economics and finance, international money and finance, risk management, and development economics. Economics and management, you do managerial and industrial economics. You choose a project from either economics or in the business school, issues and controversies in management. You choose 1 economics module from the economics of labor markets, international money and finance, and development economics, and you choose 2 modules from the business school from entrepreneurship and small business ventures, international marketing, strategic management, business ethics, environmental sustainability, and governance. The finance and accounting students choose between an economics and finance project or an accountancy project. They do advanced financial reporting. They choose one from financial theory and corporate policy and financial engineering. They choose 2 options from behavioral economics and finance, risk management, further econometrics, audit and assurance, and taxation. In terms of the accountancy students, they do an accountancy project, advanced financial reporting, audit and assurance, financial management, and choose one from comparative and contemporary issues in accountancy, strategic analysis, forensic accounting. The banking and finance students do an economics project. They do the economics of banking, financial regulation. They choose two from risk management, international money and finance, managerial and industrial economics, behavioral economics and finance, financial engineering, further econometrics, advanced financial reporting. In terms of accreditations, our degree programs are focused on maximizing the accreditations for the ACCA and ICAEW, where that's appropriate. In terms of CIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, we do slightly less cost and management accounting. Here we have a picture of one of my colleagues standing in a modern lecture room with multiple screens and surround sound. Here is a lecture room in our lecture centre. The lecture centre includes larger and smaller lecture theatres and also smaller rooms for seminars and group work. You are then the manager of your own time and private study. If you have a room on campus, you may use that. Otherwise, the library contains facilities including computer terminals, laboratory rooms, meeting rooms, and when they're not being in use for teaching, some classrooms. In addition, there are further rooms dotted around the campus. In our building, there is the Mary Yehuda Centre that you can utilize if you're coming to the department to see members of staff. Again, in terms of learning and assessment, teaching and how you learn, there are assignments, class tests, and exams. Of course, the final year project. And for the work placement, portfolios. There is a tutorial day in which you do a presentation, and then you prepare and ask questions about the subsequent year and also about an assignment that you then take back to the workplace and may discuss with your workplace line manager. For contact time and teaching, this is on average 10 to 12 hours per week. There are 2 lectures per week per module, typically, 1 workshop or seminar per module, and the class size ranges generally between 50 and 200, depending on the year and the module. In the first year, class sizes are larger. In the final year, there's more optional work and smaller class sizes. Workshops and seminars are in class sizes of 20 to 30. There are also labs that deal with Excel, databases, and software. We have guest speakers, research seminars, and also we have an economics and finance society, which is supported by the department, both financially in terms of administration, and they also discuss the invitees that they have for their presentations. There's about 25 hours of your own study per week, and that's supported with further web-based material. In addition, the library is open 24 hours. In association with the library, especially for the first year and larger groups, there will be electronic versions of textbooks. When you move into second and third year, especially in terms of your dissertation, there will be electronic journals related to all of our subject areas. There are also databases, Reuters and Bloomberg, and software, eViews, Stata, and Microfit. The course pattern for level 1 is typically examinations in May, 25% coursework in each module, and it does not count towards the final degree. In the second year, There are 6 modules that contribute to the final degree. Then 30% of coursework, typically per module, and this usually counts a third of the final degree marks. Students who go to the optional work placement year get a small amount of their markings related to that activity, and that takes a small proportion of your score related to the second year. Normally, 2/3 of the marks go to the final year, of which a third of the activities are related to your dissertation project. This includes one-to-one supervision. It's a specialist piece of work that you develop through that final year. Then there are final year exams in 4 modules and 25% coursework component taught over 2 terms. The coursework element is generally in the first term, leaving the second term to prepare for exams and do your dissertation. In addition to what we've already mentioned, there is further pastoral and academic support. At the departmental level, there is a senior tutor and personal tutor. In the third year, you have a dissertation supervisor. Then you have an academic tutor, which relates to your modules. In the first year, again, there may be 2 or 3 people teaching you, whereas in the second and the final year, the person who's doing the lectures will generally also be doing the classes. There is a work placement tutor for feedback and consultation hours. That means for every member of staff who's teaching full-time, there'll be 2 hours per week that you can consult with them. There's a feedback week and individual feedback sessions. At the university level, there's academic skills courses. They relate to the library. Computing services provide support for getting onto the network when you arrive, and also the more generic softwares related to the internet, related to word processing and spreadsheets, etc. There's a Disability and Dyslexia Centre. There is Professional Development Centre, which will help you prepare for placement and also help you with your preparation for going out into the real world and finding a job. There's the library that we've already discussed, counselling services, and the Advice and Representation Centre, which is a bit like a small citizens' advice bureau, but on campus. Here we have a picture of students at an employability event. A number of these students undertook placements. As you can see, they're mainly suited and booted. If not suited and booted, certainly smartly turned out. These sorts of events bring in professionals externally from financial institutions, large corporations, and government bodies. Quite often, these people are from our alumni, former students. For the work placement year, we're interested in you putting your theory into practice. There will be higher starting salaries in graduate jobs. Again, I want to be careful because you've had 1 more year of experience and you've also had experience in the workplace, so you probably anticipate to get a higher salary. However, it will improve your confidence and industry awareness, help you with contacts, the job and sector experience for your CV. And in addition, you're very likely to get a reference, and it's possible there may be a job at the end of your degree program. There are also potential for final year results that are slightly better. Again, we've got to be careful because you're a little bit older and you would have had some additional experience. There's also the support from an award-winning placement and careers centre. If we look at graduates 6 months after graduation, for economics, 90% are in work or further study. Typically, the starting salary is $25,000. For economics and accounting, it's $24,000. For economics and business finance, Typically 85% are in work or further study, and the starting salary is $22,000. For economics and management, 90% in work or further study, and the starting salary $24,000. As far as finance and accounting is concerned, 85% in work and further study, and $20,000 is the typical starting salary. Of course, mainly the accounting students have gone into the accounting profession and thereafter obtaining their accounting qualifications. This means in the first 3 years of their work, they may be doing further study. They will be given support for those purposes by their employer. That's why you don't get paid quite so much. By the time you've finished, after the 3 years, and you're qualified, generally there is a significant boost as an accountant in your salary. As far as the accountancy program is concerned, we imagine that the data will be similar to finance and accounting, but those students are yet to complete their degree programs. The same applies to banking and finance, where we'd anticipate similar numbers to economics and business finance. Here is a selection of our graduate employers. Many of these employers also offer placements to our students. In particular, in terms of government, we typically get at least 3 or 4 placements. Places like HM Treasury, Bank of England, significant government departments such as the Department of Transport or the Department of Business Information and Skills. There are also large corporations, Ferrari, Ford, Vauxhall, Coca-Cola, Hewlett-Packard, IBM. IBM in particular has offices which run from Hanwell in just south of the Thames and also into Basingstoke and all the way from London down to Portsmouth. There's also Ernst & Young, one of the significant accounting firms, and in addition to that, near to Heathrow, you have Lufthansa and Air France. Air France in particular has offered a number of placements to our students, and a number of students have actually obtained employment from Air France. Here is Raja. He is one of our economics and business finance students. He believes that his placement and his degree helped him to get significant jobs at Goldman Sachs, the London Stock Exchange, Citi, Credit Suisse, and UBS. And now he's at State Street as an assistant vice president. In comparison with his colleagues, he may have become a trainee economist. He may have gone into accounting. He may have become a business analyst, operations analyst, asset manager, or risk analyst. Here is Pretty. She did her placement at Air France, as we might observe from the picture on the desk associated with her. She was a finance and accounting student, and she now works for the Noble Group as a cash analyst. Her duties involve producing cash forecasts in conjunction with the Treasury team, ensuring that all entities operate within agreed business. Quite a challenging job with lots of responsibility. Of course, she could have become a professional accountant. She could have become a financial analyst, a business analyst, a credit analyst, a ratings analyst, portfolio manager, a government researcher, or gone into insurance and investment consulting. Andy is an economics student. He obtained a job at Morgan Stanley as a portfolio assistant. His daily duties include actively managing client queries, reconciling traders' risk positions, as well as producing reports on a daily and monthly basis. Of course, as an economist, he may have done a trainee economist position. He could have become an accountant. He could have also gone into financial analysis or business analysis or operations analysis or asset management or risk analysis. Here is Samaya, another economics and business finance student. She's obtained a job as a cash analyst with Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Again, in a similar way to our previous discussion, there are various accounting and other financial positions that you may have obtained, including possibly portfolio management, government research, and insurance and investment consulting. As per our entry criteria, we expect all students to enter with 3 Bs at A-level, or 3 Ds at the BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma, or with International Baccalaureate with a score of 30. Otherwise, we expect you to have 3 GCSEs, to include English language at the equivalent of grade C. For students studying banking and finance, economics, finance and accounting, we expect you to have A-level maths, grade B. That's why it's possible to enter those programs with maths at GCSE level C because of the A-level. Otherwise, accountancy, economics and accounting, economics and business finance, economics and management students, they must enter with the equivalent of GCSE maths at grade B. In terms of the IB, typically it has its own maths module. However, be careful of maths methods. We may ask you to get a higher score in the maths methods because that doesn't obtain the same standard as the usual maths module in the IB program. Thank you for listening to our virtual open event. There are 3 further slides with some further information, and there will be the capacity to respond to questions based to people at our open day event or associated with other electronic resources. On the slides, we also include the names of our organizer for the open days and our admissions tutor. In addition, there are also various other electronic links, such as Facebook, which will allow you to contact students and members of staff. We thank you for listening, and we hope that you will be with us in September to start your degree program at Brunel.